crash. A portion of the interstate and entrance ramp were closed, but they have since reopened. More news in 30 seconds.
All right, son. Time to put out this campfire.
Dad, we learned about this in school.
Oh, did you now? Okay. What's first?
Smokey Bear said to.
First, drown it with a bucket of water, then stir it with the shovel.
Wow, you sound just like it.
Then he said.
If it's still warm, then do it again.
Where can I learn all this?
It's all on SmokeyBear.com with other wildfire prevention tips. Because only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Tennessee has carried out the execution of death row inmate Harold Wayne Nichols. It happened just after 10 this morning at River Bend Maximum Security Prison. Nichols was sentenced to death for the 1988 rape and murder of 20-year-old Chattanooga State student Karen Pulley. The victim's family witnessed the execution. Karen Pulley was attacked and killed inside her family's Brainerd home in 1988. During police interviews, Nichols confessed not only to her murder, but also several other rapes in the area. Will Nunley, Access Tennessee News.
Where is the best barbecue in town? 1920 East Main. The best barbecue for miles around is in 1920 East Main. You can buy it by the pound, sandwich, platter, or plate. No matter what you choose, it will taste great. You can come with a friend, by yourself, or with a date. Just Lick Pig Barbecue. Barbecue pork, beef, or chicken, Brunswick stew, great sides, lunch specials, down-home atmosphere, and they cater. Slick Pig Barbecue is the best.
McCabe Vision Center.
Everything in my left eye just looked like it was cloudy, foggy, had a skim over it. Looked like I was looking through real dirty glass, and I was having trouble driving. The lights glared, and it's absolutely gone.
He's the eye doctor you hear on the radio.
The eye surgery was a piece of cake. It was so simple, it was so easy, never felt a thing. Once it was over, able to walk right out.
McCabe Vision Center on Heritage Park Drive.
The Christmas season should feel like joy, not financial stress. At Heritage South Community Credit Union, we focus on people helping people. Whether you need help with a little extra funds, managing the money you already saved, or getting a head start on saving for next year's Christmas presents, we can help. In fact, we help when others won't. Visit our website, heritagesouth.org, to learn more about holiday specials at Heritage South. Insured by NCUA.
Get the latest headlines, events, and stories all in just minutes a day. Weekdays, the Rutherford Roundup Podcast. Subscribe now on your favorite podcast platform or wgnsradio.com.
It's 5 before 5 and time to get an update on Good Neighbor events.
Good Neighbor events is brought to you by America Pest Control, Old National Bank, and the law offices of John Day.
This is a paid legal ad.
Hi, this is John Day of the Law Offices of John Day. My team and I have worked hard to help injured people throughout Middle Tennessee. We've helped thousands of people get the legal help they need when they've needed it the most. And if we're not able to help or aren't the right lawyer for you, we'll do the best to point you in the right direction. If you've been injured, call the Law Offices of John Day for a free consultation. And remember, there's no fee unless we win your case.
WGNS encourages you to shop our local mom and pop businesses, especially this time of the year. Don't forget, this Sunday is the Murfreesboro Christmas Parade. It starts at 2 o'clock, goes down East Main, around the square, and onto West Main. The theme of the parade, A Sweet Christmas. Again, the Murfreesboro Christmas Parade is 2 o'clock this Sunday. Also this weekend and the next weekend, from 4 until 8 in the evening, it's Christmas at Cannonsburg, just off Front Street in Murfreesboro. The admission is $5 per person, with children ages 5 and younger admitted for free. Stroll through this historic village and see how Christmas was celebrated. There is free parking located in the large gravel parking lot next to Cannonsburg. Need to take South Church Street to West Castle Street, and that'll take you directly to the parking lot. The Red Cross is still critically low on blood. Please give the gift of life. Phone the Red Cross at 800-RED-CROSS and make an appointment to give blood at a time that fits your schedule. Those are WGNS Good Neighbor Events.
The Good Neighbor Network salutes educators making a difference. The Doug Young Educator of the Month from City Tile and Floor Covering is Cameron Hamilton at the Learning Zone.
My decision to become an educator stems from my background in the Boys and Girls Club. I grew up going to the Boys and Girls Club, and then when I was of age, I started volunteering, and then I started working there when I became of age from that point. But I've just always been involved with youth development.
Cameron, tell us what you like most about working with the kids.
Every day is something new. There's always a new thing to learn from them, as there's something new for them to learn from me. Having that experience with them is just a reward in itself.
And what would you like to do in the future?
I'd like to possibly step into a director role, be in charge of the different things that go on, and ensure that at least I know that my building is doing the best that they can for the children.
Cameron Hamilton at the Learning Zone is the Doug Young Educator of the Month, sponsored by City Tile and Floor Covering on Spring Street. Know an outstanding teacher? Nominate them at our website.
If your job situation is changing because of layoffs or restructuring, you may have to make several decisions. One important decision may be what to do with your retirement plan. Make sure your retirement stays on track. I'm Lee Colvin, your Edward Jones financial advisor, and I'd like to help. Stop by our office in the Public Shopping Center on South Rutherford Boulevard or give us a call at 615-907-7056 for a face-to-face appointment. Edward Jones, Making Sense of Investing, member SIPC.
Murfreesboro Funeral Home and Cremation Services.
What type of services they would think they would want?
Staff members are caring and experienced individuals who understand that each family is unique.
We ask them the questions. Is it going to be a burial, going to be a cremation?
Keith Stapleton, manager of the Murfreesboro Funeral Home.
In my experience over 40 years, I've seen the people that come in to pre-plan their funerals and put it down in writing makes it a whole lot easier on the children.
Murfreesboro Funeral Home, off of South Church Street.
It's All That's News with Matt Lane on News Radio WGNS.
Around the country, around the world, CBS News is next.
Portions of our programming have been pre-recorded. The Good Neighbor Network, WGNS Murfreesboro, W270AF Murfreesboro, W263AI Murfreesboro, Smyrna.
This is Primetime Sports, WGNS, Murfreesboro, Smyrna, 1019, 100.5, AM 1450, WGNSsports.com, Big G TV, streaming video, and always at the game. The game. It's Primetime Sports, presented by Ideas Tees. We'll take a look back at last week's big games and get you ready for the weekend ahead. Local prep sports, MTSU, UT, and Vandy football, the Titans, and much more. Now let's join the Primetime Sports team right here on WGNS and Big G TV.
Good evening, Primetime Sports, Thursday night, 5 o'clock. Clark Blair in the house. I pulled in the DH tonight.
Yeah. Off the injured reserve. Yeah.
You're physically able to play, though, right now.
I'm pup, yeah. No, that would be Pap, physically able to play.
You're
yeah.
Pap tonight.
Yeah.
You were Pap the other night at your ball game we just talked about.
Yeah, I came back for football for the championship game, and we found us a nice little place in Manchester to eat. And we ate there instead of going all the way into Chattanooga to eat.
On the way down, where'd you stop?
Emma's Family Restaurant.
Oh, nice.
All-you-can-eat buffet.
Really?
And it was piping hot, catfish. They had fried chicken, and we're going to go back there. We may be the voice of the Manchester Red Raiders. I'm not really sure. It was pretty good food.
Oh, I got to check that one out then. We're going to talk championships tonight, and I said championships. We've got to talk high school football, and John, we got to talk about pigskin pigs. Just got to do it.
I really didn't play. I mean, I was injured, and I didn't really concentrate. I didn't focus much. So
you were a little, too much medicine, maybe some weeks.
I was, and Rod beat me. That's the worst thing that happened was Rod topped me. And I couldn't believe that happened, but,
It was probably one of the closest races we've had in a while.
Well, people don't understand. You may finish last, but you've won like 100 games. I mean, they're very impressive records.
Danny did. He won 72% of his games and won 103, but he's in last. Danny's also at the pool tonight. He'll join us about 5:30.
Is he in the pool or is he at the pool?
He's at the pool.
At the pool.
He's
okay.
at the pool. He would get in the pool, but he's at the pool. Our show every week is brought to you by Ida's Tees. It's the place in Rutherford County for school spirit wear, screen printing, embroidery, specialty items, and more. Visit them at 111 East MTCS Road, right across from the School Off Memorial. You can also shop for your officially licensed MTSU Blue Raider gear from Raider Tees. Tees, polos, hats, and more at their showroom. Ida's Tees can put your logo on just about anything. See how they can help your favorite team, workplace, organization. Learn more at idastees.com.
Since 1966, Fans Heating and Air has been a symbol of quality for Murfreesboro and Rutherford County. For friendly, complete service on Amana, Bryant, or American Standard heating and air products, Fans will do it all. Sell you your choice of products and then install it with their factory-trained, experienced, professional staff. In the unlikely event you need service, Fans will be there with trained technicians. Fans Heating and Air is located on Jayhawk.
In Rutherford County, we need a sheriff who leads from the front, not from behind the desk. That's Kenneth Barrett, out on calls, side by side with deputies, tackling the tough stuff every shift. He's the working man's leader, supervising with sharp eyes, serving with steady hands, keeping our families safe. Born here, raised here, he's ready to protect here.
I'm Kenneth Barrett, running for Rutherford County Sheriff, and I'd appreciate your vote.
Paid for by Kenneth Barrett for Sheriff, Treasurer James Stewart.
Sports, presented by Ideas Tees on 1019, 100.5, 1450, wgnssports.com, and Big G TV.
All right, we're back. We're going to book in champions tonight. First champion we're going to talk about, of course, a repeat champion, the Oakland Patriots. Not a surprise, John.
No, and after you watched the game for the first 5-6 minutes, you almost knew they had that in the bag. The two quarterbacks they had, that one's a running back, and they swapped them, but they bottled. Nance had a little better job than Balarusa, or what I think that's his name, and they really bottled them up and just really shut them down. But you could tell in the first 5 minutes or 6 of the game, it was 14-0, and I actually turned to Brian and I said, off air, I said, I think this one's over. I mean, it's just they were that focused.
Well, I mean, that's credit to Kevin Creasy. It's nice to have the weapons that he has.
Yeah.
When that quarterback made that run across the field and just scooted down the field and went by 8 people, I thought, they don't have the speed.
No. It's hard to find anybody that has that speed, really.
And I'm sure they never saw that speed on the defensive side. That's why those two guys, they just
Right.
They couldn't get anything.
They I give them credit. They tried to hang in there, and they came back and cut it, But every time they scored, Oakland would come right back and score. I mean, it was phenomenal. Craig Tutt was amazing, and he ran the Wildcat in the second half pretty much. I think Cameron may have re-injured his ankle a little bit, so Tutt just goes down the floor running the Wildcat, and just ate him up.
Craig Tutt, 32 carries. That was a career high for him. 226 yards, seven. That's not. I did not read that wrong. 7 touchdowns.
That ties a record for Blue Cross Bowl, doesn't it?
I was reading that article. He tied it with Jalen Hurd.
Yeah.
And Craig Tutt said he was 5. He didn't know who Jalen Hurd was.
Oh yeah. Well, I remembered after I thought about it. I remember who Jalen was, and he had a remarkable career. He went to UT, didn't he?
He did go to UT
didn't
for a
have
while.
A very good.
No, he was at Beach, and I mean he was.
Yeah. He was a real deal.
He was.
The thing about it, when you sit there and listen to those stats, and you say 226 yards, and that wasn't his best outing. I mean, what was his best outing? I can't remember, but and I know the Mr. Football thing. I'm sure we'll talk about that, but Craig Tutt played a lot of defense, and he didn't touch the ball as much as probably some of those other applicants that they had in there. Because half the game, if he wasn't needed, he wasn't used, but they needed him down the stretch. They had some injuries.
And, you don't see kids like that. It never seemed to bother Craig.
No. Now,
the last 2 games, talking stats again, 450 yards, 11 touchdowns.
Yeah.
I mean, that's 2 games out of 15.
You would have liked to have that in a 4-year career,
Absolutely.
I mean, most players would take that for 4 years,
Yeah, if I could score 11 touchdowns over, yeah.
If I could score 1, it would be, but yeah, most people, that is a career, really.
Yeah, so, buzzsaw that we knew Oakland was going to be anyway. What's funny is most of the games, if you saw the scores, and they talked about that after it was over, a lot of the games got out of hand.
Yeah, and I think they're going to probably discuss that. How all of them were so lopsided, except maybe one, I think.
The closest game was the Baylor-Brentwood Academy game at 4 points.
Yeah.
But you had others 52, 34, 41, 28, 41 in the Oakland game, of course.
Well, you would agree that shouldn't be like that. I mean, there's something wrong somewhere, or the upper level teams have gotten so high that nobody can compete with them.
Well, I mean, are we seeing the beginning of what we've talked about? TWA let them transfer. You can transfer.
Right.
Alcoa won their 11th straight? 11th? And I know up there kids can go to Alcoa if they want to go to Alcoa, and we know how good Maryville is.
Right. If you have a team that's on the border of being really good, or you could lose 4 players and go back to average or lower in 1 year. I mean, if they all decided to transfer at the same time.
Well, I mean, as good as Oakland was, when push came to shove and he had to have a play, he went to one guy.
Yeah.
It's Craig Tutt.
Yeah.
And you mentioned Mr. Football, came in runner-up. Kid from Southwind won it. I was a little surprised. That boy from Southwind has some pretty good stats. Kelvin Perkins. He's the 6th player ever. He won it 2 years ago. He's a repeat winner. He's going to Austin Peay. Threw for 2,873 yards and 42 touchdowns. Rushed for 1,361 and 27 touchdowns. That's some pretty good stats.
Yeah.
That boy's got the ball in his hands. That's just some crazy numbers.
Yeah, and Austin Peay kind of surpsurprises me. I would
He's
think
6 foot tall.
Yeah, that's it.
He's 6 foot tall. He's a great athlete.
He's Diego Pavia.
He is.
Similar.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and we're going to talk about Pavia here for too long. But for Craig Tutt, again, a great season. If he had those touches week in, win out, not that he would probably get 450 yards every 2 games.
Right.
But, I mean, that's 3,000 yards for a season.
Yeah.
If he's, making those things happen. And, of course, Oakland didn't have many games this year where they were worried or in trouble. One, they were behind Green Hill?
Green Hill was the one that I looked at that score and I was at home recovering, and I heard that game and I was like, oh, gee, they may not make it, because it was fourth quarter before they stays that comeback.
Yep.
And you know, you have one of those games where you come out. I think they came out a little flat, and maybe looking ahead. And they were going to play Blackman,
That was
right?
Blackman the next
I think
game.
they were looking ahead at that one. And boy, sometimes it'll bite you. It'll catch you.
Well, Oakland, of course, end of the season, state champions, #1 overall in Class 6A. You mentioned Blackman, 4th, 12-2 on the season. Great season for Blackman.
Oh, great year. Yeah, great year. He has done what his plan, and because we talked before the season, the first season, he said he's got to get him in his mindset. You know, he's got to – there were some things he didn't like the way they were doing, and he said they're not going to like me for a while. But I said, but he said if they'll stay with it, we'll get there, because he's got players. I mean, he's got people. You know, he's got numbers, and that's the biggest thing too. If you've got numbers and you can get a pretty decent bench and people that can come off and play when you got injuries, and they had a super year. And I'm not taking anything away from the Maryville win. I know if it'd been there, you know, that might have. It really does. 'Cause
it's a different place. I was there this year.
I was talking to Will about that, and that is the weirdest place to go play football. And I mean, you're like, it's almost like you're smothered and covered by fans right there on top of you, you know, like a little bowl. Like, it reminds me of Lincoln County when Lincoln County was really huge. They'd have that smoke from the concession stands of the hamburger smoke, and it was crazy. It was wild. So, but I mean, they beat them. So, and they beat them convincingly. It wasn't like, you know,
it wasn't close.
They really just ran over them.
But I think Maryville beat Riverdale so much the week before they thought they were going to come down here and take care of Blackman.
Yeah, and what I think maybe hurt Blackman a little bit, once you get over a major hump like that, nobody expected Blackman to win that game, I don't think.
No.
And once they got over that, then you've got to switch gears. As soon as you win, you're happy as you can be. Then you got to, Oakland's coming next, you know. And I think that, and Oakland was coming off a close game, and you know, you put the two together, and it can spell trouble for you.
Well, like most coaches, Kevin Creasy has to find every edge he can get.
Right.
So you know he used that Green Hill game the whole week, and then showing that, you know, they all thought they were going to be playing Maryville.
Yeah, yeah. And their offensive line was tremendous. They were opening up holes for them that I'd never seen before. In fact, Brian said he could run through one of those holes. I said, no, you couldn't. But it was that big. It was that huge. And you just got to tip your cap. The game plan, Kevin Creasy's game plan was great. But you know, and then I want to go even further, go down the line. There's Riverdale, who went to Maryville, and what to me happens there is those guys have never been there before. It's a whole different atmosphere. It's a long road trip, and I don't know how much that had a part in it, but they were in that game for quite a bit. They got behind, then they came back, got it close, and it just I don't know. I think mentally it's just hard. It's hard to play there. It really is.
Riverdale ended up 9th in Class 6A. Other local schools, Division 2A, Providence Christian Academy came in 4th. So, yeah, Riverdale had 4 losses. You think that's not a good season, but you lost to Oakland, Blackman, who had their best season ever. You lost to, of course, Maryville. That's 3 of your 4 losses. The one they'd probably like to have back was that early season loss, but they lost it to that team out of Knoxville who has 2 great players going to college.
Yeah.
And it was a slugfest that night.
Their schedule was no picnic for sure. Oakland's wasn't either, and Blackman tried to play some tough teams too. And when I look at Riverdale, they were one of the hotter teams going in to the playoffs, I thought. But again, situations and those kind of things, like, and where you're playing, all of that kind of takes in. But I think if they went back up there 3 weeks later, they would have beat Maryville. I do believe that.
It would have been a different story.
I just think you get into that. Whoa, it's Maryville, you know, and they've got all those banners hanging up there. I mean, it's just I don't know of any atmosphere, and it's not that I don't. I like that atmosphere. I mean, it's a challenge.
If you're Maryville, yeah.
If you're Maryville, they love it, and they're very confident, and especially at home. So, but hats off to Oakland, Blackman, Riverdale, and you know, it's the 3 we thought were going to get there at the beginning of the year wound up getting as close as you can get.
Yep. And we mentioned, Blackman's 2 losses, both to Oakland.
Yeah.
I mean, you beat everybody else on your schedule, so hats off.
That'll
to all
be the
of
next
them.
thing that he'll preach. Matt will go, we've got to get over that hump. There's the other hump. And Riverdale's won a game. Beat them once, and they showed that one thing where Oakland has played all the teams in the county, and
Yep.
I don't know if you saw it, but Riverdale's the only team that's beaten them. That is crazy. That's crazy wild.
So Kevin Creasy has been at Oakland for 11 years. He has 11 losses. That's 11. That's one a year. Riverdale's the last team to beat him from the region.
Yeah.
And that was a crazy game.
Yeah.
That 2-point conversion that Riverdale got at the end. But then, of course, we know what happened in the playoffs. Oakland came back and smoked them 56-0.
You almost don't want to beat Oakland in the regular season, though. I mean, I think you're better off losing and then catching by surprise in the next time,
And that's why Riverdale so badly wanted to beat Marable, because they felt confident if they caught Blackman.
Yeah.
To have their chance.
Yeah.
But that did not
was
work
not
out.
to be.
Was not to be. So we talked about a little bit about the transfer rule. That came up in high school football more than ever. Oakland's quarterback was at Riverdale. Blackman's quarterback was at Rockville.
Yeah.
Riverdale's quarterback was from Nashville.
Yeah.
And so...
And wasn't Rockville's quarterback was from Blackman.
Right. So
yeah,
I get so tired on the college games. It's like the announcers, they say, so-and-so from so-and-so. Well, he's playing for this team. Quit saying that.
Right.
But
right.
it's hard not to.
Yeah. And the thing about it is, these little teams, I guess the only thing I see good is teams like Vanderbilt and some of those smaller teams can compete a little bit more if you've got the money to pay these guys. But Vanderbilt's a unique situation, but so is Indiana.
Right.
Right.
But I mean, even kids now at the high school level, families are looking for places to send their kids to.
Right.
I mean, I've got a family at school. Their daughters come to my school, but they moved specifically into the Oakland zone.
Yeah.
To go to Oakland Middle, to go to Oakland High School.
Yeah.
I mean, they want their kids coached, where there's success.
Yeah.
That's just part of it.
And if one of them ever leave or any of those coaches ever leave, it makes a big difference. I mean, they go, well, my coach is gone. I could go next year. I'll just go somewhere else.
Yeah. Because it's a one-time transfer rule.
Does it put a little more pressure too on the principal, on the administration to keep those coaches? I mean, keep them happy. I don't know how you keep them happy, but because it's a tough, puts them in a tough situation.
Well, I think everybody's finding ways to bargain now, whether it's the players, the parents, or the coaches.
Yeah.
They're all doing it. Speaking of doing, it's time for our Smyrna Ready Mix Concrete Solid Performer. Every game has someone who provides a foundation of success. This is an easy choice. Craig Tutt. He gets the recognition. 7 touchdowns, 250 yards as a Smyrna Ready Mix Concrete Solid Performer. Locally grown, nationally known, Smyrna Ready Mix Concrete. And that boy, he ran like he was a concrete truck a couple times, especially that last touchdown.
He ran like he was possessed.
It
was nobody could stop him, and he was carrying 5 or 6 guys with him. And he's not that big. I mean, he's not that big of a kid, but he's a rock. But he carried 5 or 6 people with him on that last drive.
He did. Played well. When we come back, we're going to talk a little Titans and the word victory.
What?
Rely on the experienced professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air.
If your old unit needs a tune-up, the professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air service all major brands and even offer same-day service in most cases. Keep your home or business comfortable year-round. Call us today at 615-890-1311. Prentice Allsup Heating and Air, your Ring Pro partner heating and cooling contractor on West College Street, just under the Thompson Lane overpass. Online at PrenticeAllsup.com.
Life changes, then it changes again. Hi, I'm Edward Jones Financial Advisor Lee Colvin. A job loss, change in health, or loss of a loved one can have a big impact on your family's financial security. Let's work together to help make sure that you're equipped for life's unexpected events. Stop by our office in the Public Shopping Center on South Rutherford Boulevard or give us a call at 615-907-7056 for an appointment. Edward Jones, Making Sense of Investing, member SIPC.
In Rutherford County, we need a sheriff who leads from the front, not from behind the desk. That's Kenneth Barrett, out on calls, side by side with deputies, tackling the tough stuff every shift. He's the working man's leader, supervising with sharp eyes, serving with steady hands, keeping our families safe. Born here, raised here, he's ready to protect here.
I'm Kenneth Barrett, running for Rutherford County Sheriff, and I'd appreciate your vote.
Paid for by Kenneth Barrett for Sheriff. Treasurer James Stewart.
Clark's Auction Company will get you top dollar for your property.
Clark's has a team of experienced auctioneers and realtors who make selling your property simple. Whether you're selling your home, farm, or have an estate to settle, auctions are easy, fast, and profitable. You don't have to worry about the hassle of updates, repairs, or showings, and you'll receive multiple offers on auction day.
Clark's Auction Company will get you top dollar for your property.
Clark's Auction Company, committed to auction excellence.
Sold it to you, 27.5.
Dr. Russell McKissick of Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance talks about the grassroots effort in our local schools to ensure proper care for players.
To make sure our teams are covered here locally, be there for our trainers. Yeah, it's a passion that we have to try to take care of our athletes here in town and be there just to keep everybody playing as healthy and as best they can.
From a community standpoint, one of the most important things you do at TOA, I'd guess.
I think it's definitely a way to pay back to our community, just to be there for them and watch some great sports too.
Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance, TOA, live your best life.
Primetime Sports, presented by Ideas Tees on 1019, 100.5, 1450, wgnssports.com, and Big G TV.
All right, we're back. We're going to run down to Nashville, talk about a couple teams. I mentioned the Tennessee Titans. The one thing most Titan fans did not want to happen happened Sunday.
Yeah. I was one of them, too. I was sitting there.
I was screaming at the TV, tackle him. And my wife's like, what are you doing? I said, we want to lose. What do we want to do?
Yeah, if they had gotten that 2-point conversion, I think Cleveland would have won that game.
I do, too.
If they'd gone in overtime.
I do, too. I mean, beat Cleveland in Cleveland, 31-29. We were up 2 touchdowns with 6:17 remaining and still had a chance to lose it.
Yeah.
But Cleveland's just as bad as we are in a lot of ways.
I mean, that doesn't – to me, the game didn't show anything. I mean, it didn't show me if Cam Ward is really good. In fact, it showed me nothing, that he's going to be the savior. And Tony Pollard, the only difference in that game, Tony Pollard ran for 170 yards. I mean, that was the only difference. But Cleveland's not very good. And what's the guy, the defensive lineman, Miles, what's his name?
Garrett.
Yeah, Miles Garrett. He is good. That's all it shows me.
Good. The only thing the Titans
Jeffrey Simmons is pretty good.
He only got 1 sack, so he didn't set the NFL record against the Titans.
And Jeffrey Simmons played a heck of a game. He was really good the other day.
Best rushing game for Pollard in about a year. I think the first time he's been over 100 yards in actually almost a year from last year.
I do think the offensive line for the Tennessee Titans has gotten a little bit better. They're starting to gel just a little bit. Now, when I say gel, I don't mean we're all pro, but I mean they're protecting him a little bit better.
A little better.
But Cam makes some, he I don't know.
That interception.
Pocket is his problem. Pocket thing is his problem.
But he wants to be a pocket passer.
Yeah.
I've told everybody he's not a pocket passer.
No.
He's got to move, and I don't think he wants to move.
No.
And my son swears he's going to be a great quarterback, and I'd be glad if he is.
I hope he is, but his accuracy's got to get better. I mean, sometimes he can thread the needle, but
his throwing motion's not good. Yes, he'll drop a dime every once in a while, but
if you and I can see it, how come? Okay, never mind. Well, I mean, I don't like his throwing motion either. I mean, I don't. In fact, for that matter, Shedeur had him beat on that.
Yeah.
Throwing the football.
I mean, Sanders didn't do anything great. He had to throw because they were behind.
Well, he threw for 4 touchdowns. Well, he threw 60 times probably. Yeah. I mean, they had no running game.
Right. And we were running the ball, trying to run the clock and get out of that. So, but we're technically number 2 from the bottom now. And so, I really want
it can change. We've got, 4 more games? It could change.
We do. And that's what I'm looking at. It's us, the Raiders, and the Giants. All right? We're going to San Francisco. We're going to lose that game.
That game's gone.
Kansas City, we should lose that game, but Kansas City's fighting for the playoff life. If they're still in the hunt, they're going to beat us. New Orleans, the game after Christmas.
Maybe. Is that at New Orleans or here?
It's here.
That we haven't won a game at home yet, so.
But New Orleans is terrible as well. And then Jacksonville's our last game, and you think we'd lose to Jacksonville, but Jacksonville may be in the playoffs and it not matter.
Uh-huh.
We need it to matter for them.
Yeah. We're doing that. We're fixing the strategy for them to lose.
That's right. Right. We need you to
be.
I think
they could win one of those 4. I think is that 4 or 3. I think one of them they can win. I think.
So you got.
I wouldn't guarantee any wins, but I would if I had to. It'd be New Orleans.
Be New Orleans after Christmas. Yeah. So the Giants go. They have Washington, Minnesota, and Vegas. They've got.
Well, that's not bad.
They've got an easier route to get a couple of wins, and they end with Dallas. So they've only got one team that might be in the playoffs.
Their quarterback's got to get bit. I mean, Dart has to play in that game, in those games.
And the Raiders go to Philadelphia and Houston. They're going to lose those. They host the Giants. That's going to be a huge game. When we're playing New Orleans, the Giants and the Raiders are playing each other. So
one of them needs to lose one game, and then hopefully they'll lose. Somebody will come back and win that game.
We need the Giants to beat Washington is what we need to do and get lucky, because it all comes down to, can we get the number 1 pick? No, we don't probably want or will draft a quarterback. We need somebody to want our pick.
Yeah.
We need somebody to want our pick.
We need 3. We need like 2. I mean, we need some picks high picks in the second round. We need about 4 picks, out of that.
Yep. We need the Jets to be desperate and give us something.
So who needs a quarterback out of that bunch? The Jets.
The Jets do. The Raiders could as well, but so do the Saints. So there's about 3 teams that would be looking probably for a quarterback if they're there.
So we don't want the Saints. We don't really want we want if they pick the quarterback, from Indiana first, then we've got a better shot at maybe, right? I mean, we'd have a better shot at getting some draft picks to get our second pick or whatever.
Right. But
we don't need to drop any further than 2, though.
No. If the Giants had the first pick, that's fine. They're not going to draft a quarterback.
No.
But that also means they're willing to sell too.
Right.
That's the hard part. You mentioned those quarterbacks, and there's 3 quarterbacks going up to New York for the Heisman. One of them is the guy down the road in Nashville, Mr. Pavia. You think he's got a chance?
No.
Who are you going for? So you've got the running back at Notre Dame.
I want him to win it, and his stats are as good as anybody's in that group.
I don't think the Love kid, the running back, is going to get it. It's the quarterback Mendoza from Indiana.
Well, he's number 1 team right now.
And then the sophomore from Ohio State, Saying. I think it's down to Mendoza.
I think it's going to be 1-2
and
there.
Pavia.
Yeah,
but I do think Pavia will come in second.
I do too, and it'll be a shame because nobody means more to his team than Pavia does to Vanderbilt. I mean, I'll be interested to see next year when they come in with a new quarterback, even if it's the freshman that they just got, and he's good. But you're asking a lot for a freshman to come in there, and but if all that offense works the same way, and but I was watching Tennessee game, and I don't mean to bring this up for disrespect.
I've had to eat crow
because I picked Tennessee in that game, and I felt like Tennessee would, whoop them in Knoxville, and they could not stop them.
He looked silly.
The 2 interceptions hurt him, but other than that, they could not stop. They could not stop him. I mean,
that 40-yard run up the middle.
Yeah,
there. It just.
I have never seen a Vanderbilt team that dominant against a Tennessee team ever.
They were just playing with them.
Yeah,
I mean, seriously.
Yeah,
they literally were playing with them. They knew they were better than Tennessee.
Have you ever? I mean, you've been on this earth how many years? I mean,
and I've seen a lot of Tennessee Vandy games, and years back when Woody Woodenhofer would drive Peyton Manning crazy. They'd be close, but Tennessee always won.
James Franklin won 1 game, but I'm talking about like the score, and how the game went. Nobody's ever been that dominant against Tennessee like that.
No.
I mean, you could tell Heupel was just kind of like, he was shell-shocked. Not the fact that he didn't think Vanderbilt could beat them, but I think how they beat them. I mean, it was just crazy. I've never seen anything like it.
Well, the fallout's happened. Tennessee fired their defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Hired a new one today. Got the guy.
Well, they jumped on that quick. Good.
Got the guy out of Penn State, who was also previously at Ohio State. So we'll see how he does. There's been a lot of knee-jerk reactions with coaching around the country. Now Michigan's got to find them new coach. That
was a bad situation.
That's not a pretty situation.
And Kiffin is Kiffin.
Kiffin is Kiffin.
He's made some more people mad other than Tennessee.
He's Kiffining. Back to the Heisman Trophy ceremony. That will air Saturday at 7 o'clock. Pavia, let's look at stats. He's the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award winner. He deserved that. School record 3,192 yards, 27 touchdowns, tied him 8th nationally. Completion percentage 71.2.
71%.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's 8th though, believe it or not.
Really?
Yep. Rushed. Here's the part about him. He rushed for 826 yards and 9 scores.
Almost 1,000 yards
for
a quarterback.
That's 5'11", maybe.
Yeah, and he's got some running backs. I mean, they've got a good running back out there for Vanderbilt too.
Oh, yeah.
To go with him.
So he tied 4th nationally from total touchdowns with 36. He threw for over 300 yards 4 times, and of course, he ran for 165 rushing yards against Tennessee.
I mean, we're talking about a pretty good defense, pretty good Tennessee defense. I mean, that totally shocked me. I will never get over that. And that'll be a game. If you're a Vanderbilt fan, you need to mark that down. And if you tape the game, get it on DVD or something where you can save it for the rest of your life, because you may never have another year like they just had. If they do, I think Clark Lee's the kind of guy that he can get that done. But I mean, you'll never have another year like that. I mean, a most exciting year.
Well, it's just like their bowl game. They're going to play Iowa. I was really hoping they'd get a better matchup because I felt like they deserved a better matchup than Iowa.
And how did you feel about them not getting in? Because I didn't think they'd get in. I was one of those.
I didn't think
they'd
get in. But at the same time, I know some of the people thought, well, they're Vanderbilt. And how will they ever shake that? Well, they're Vanderbilt. Even at 10-2, best record ever, they still got they're Vanderbilt.
Well, I'm looking at Miami, and I'm looking at, of course, what they need to do is quit giving the conference winners, you won't have your James Madisons in there and Tulane's and that kind of thing. Do you think Vanderbilt could beat Tulane? Do you think they could beat James Madison?
Oh, yeah.
And the two losses is what hurt them. The Texas loss when they fell behind early and then they came back, and Alabama. What are your thoughts,
Alabama?
What are your thoughts, Mr. Tennessee? You got Alabama in there at 10-3. I don't think they should have been picked, but I know they went to the Southeastern Conference game, but they that doesn't mean a whole lot when you talk about what side of the conference you're in.
Yeah, well, I think there was a little prejudice given there to Alabama. Again, the SEC's like, we're in a championship game. We can't not let them in. Because Ole Miss was going to get in, we knew. And so Texas, well,
and they
Alabama
had, 3 losses too?
Yeah. So Danny Brewer is on the line, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Hey, we were talking so far tonight. We talked about Oakland football a little bit. I know you were down there. Give us your opinions.
Oakland dominated the trenches. To me, that was the difference in the game. Offensive line just opened up holes. Some of them so big I could have run through them, And then on defense, they controlled the line of scrimmage. Got out of the gate real fast, up 14-0 in the blink of an eye, and they just never looked back. So, outstanding performance by Oakland as a whole in all phases of the game, offense, defense, special teams, because they blocked the punt. That set up their second score. So, just outstanding effort by Oakland. They really picked a great night to have a great night.
Well, Brian Barrett said he could run through those holes too, but I'm going to go with you, Danny. I think you're the better thoroughbred of the two running backs.
I don't think either one of them could have run through that hole, to be honest with you, but they were big holes.
Well, they could run through the hole, but it might close up really fast.
It would close up fast. If they could get through it.
I wouldn't have got 40 yards like Tutt did, I'll say that.
I think Danny could get about 15.
He might.
Brian would close up quick. It'd be like -1. Now, Jackson, he's a young guy. He could probably run through it and get about 20, 25 yards.
He might.
Yeah.
He might. I might get some, too, because I'd be scared to get hit.
That's right. That's right. Yeah,
you'd be spinning.
A great motivator.
Danny, he'd be spinning like flag football, trying to, thinking he can spin himself out of the way. But anyway, Danny, you, like Clark said, you were there, and the atmosphere of that team, to me, seemed like no nonsense. Let's get it over, and let's get it over with quick is the way I felt like they were mentally ready for that game.
I think so. The Green Hill game was a huge wake-up call for them because they could have easily gotten beat that night. But, I give a lot of credit to Coach Creasy in the Green Hill game because, everything was going against them. They weren't playing well. They weren't executing. They weren't playing typical Oakland football. And give Green Hill a lot of credit because they came to play. But Coach Creasy never lost his composure, never panicked, stuck with the game plan, and in the end they pulled it out. Now, I think that was a little bit of a wake-up call for the entire Oakland team. Like, look, we can't just show up and think we're going to win. We've got to play the game, and they did. And they flat played the game against Ravenwood. Like I said, very dominating performance, no doubt.
Danny, the other thing we've been talking about, we talked a little bit tonight about college football playoffs. Question a bit. Does Alabama deserve a bid? They're in at 3 losses. They're the only team with 3 losses. Do you see an SEC team running it and winning the national championship?
I think Georgia Bulldogs. I think Georgia's probably got the best chance to do it. I think they're playing the best football of anybody in the SEC right now. The thing about it is, I'm not upset about Alabama being the 3-loss team, and I don't want to shed any negative light on the little guys, but I'm not so sure that James Madison or Tulane should have been in there ahead of the Vandy boys, or of Texas, or of even Notre Dame, because when you look at the strength of schedule, I think that has to play a factor. Both of those teams lost games during the regular season, and they didn't really play a lot of Power 5 teams, so it's not like they beat 3 or 4 big boys along the way. So I'm not so confident this was one of those years where 2 of those smaller division teams deserve to be in.
Well, you're not the only one that thinks that. But here's what I do think. I think I got to take a break, brother. We're going to take a commercial and come right back.
Quick, convenient, efficient. 3 words that we all hope to experience when we do business. Our goal at JHA Company is to bring just that to an industry that's traditionally dictated to the customer when it's time to do business. Whether you're purchasing class pictures in a yearbook, class jewelry, a letter jacket, school spirit wear, or senior graduation products, we strive to make the experience quick, convenient, and efficient. Find out more at jhacompany.com. JHA, your one source for an unparalleled scholastic experience.
Pizza. Murfreesboro's favorite pizza is now hiring at all 3 local locations. That's right. We want you to join the Sir Pizza team. Stop in at our East Main, Veterans Parkway, or Memorial Boulevard locations and let us know how you'd like to join the Sir Pizza family. Also, we've made it even easier to order for carryout or delivery. Just head on over to sirpizzatn.com.
Sir Pizza, you made me love pizza again.
You've heard people say, you know your work by your name, but there's no better name for residential and business concrete work than Dan France Concrete. From basic slabs to decorative stamping, for your next concrete project, call Dan France Concrete, 615-642-5152.
This is Dan with Dan France Concrete, wishing all Rutherford County student athletes a great season. Study hard, play harder, and be safe.
Trust me, Dan is committed to the community and will offer you a great product. He'll stand behind his work and make sure you're satisfied with every aspect of the work. Dan France Concrete.
Rely on the experienced professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air.
Whether it's the blazing heat of summer or the bitter cold of winter, let the Rheem Pro professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Conditioning on West College Street keep your home or business comfortable year-round. We service all major brands and in most cases offer same-day service. Call us today at 615-890-1311. Prentice Allsup Heating and Air, your Rheem Pro partner heating and cooling contractor on West College Street, just under the Thompson Lane overpass.
True Blue Raider fans don't settle for just any gear. They shop at Raider Tees, specializing in Middle Tennessee apparel and accessories. No distractions, just pure Blue Raider pride. From t-shirts and hoodies to decals, stadium chairs, and exclusive designs you won't find anywhere else. We've got it all. Stop by 111 East MTCS Road right across from MTCS and gear up today. Raider Tees, bigger, better, and go blue.
Primetime Sports, presented by Ideas Tees on 1019 100.5, 1450 wgnssports.com and Big G TV.
All right, we're back. Speaking of Go Blue, we're going to go over Chip Walters for the Blue Raider Report.
Welcome in, everybody. And today we're lucky to have Emmy Fazenbaker, the multimedia journalist for GoBlueRaiders.com. And today it's part of a week that's kind of slow, Emmy. It is fall. It is the end of the fall semester. Exams are going on. Graduation coming up on Saturday. But, still, Blue Raiders trudge on.
Oh, yeah, that's for sure. I mean, it has been a little bit more quieter, which is odd with all the students gearing up to go back home for winter break, which has, again, been a difference in setting. But it's still exciting. Still got a bunch of stuff going on, especially as we get ready for next week with a lot of basketball here at the Murphy Center. But it has been, again, quite strange having some time this week to kind of gather our thoughts and get ready for some more basketball after we just had football signing class. Half of our signing class for 2026 announced last week as well.
Well, Derek Mason likes to call the December signing period, he likes to call that the draft, because it is mostly high school players. And, it seemed to me, number one, a lot of defensive guys. Number two, a lot of local guys. Number three, they dipped into Florida, where there's always, or South Florida in particular, where there's always a plethora of good athletes.
Oh, yeah. And I think it's really exciting. Whenever he was talking about it, he was saying that they're trying to get some more roots back into South Florida and even Georgia as well. And I think that's really important, just to, especially on the defensive side of things, whenever it comes to some guys that have, that are left us graduating and stuff like that. But whenever it comes to the class of 2026, it's really exciting, especially having already, I think we signed another offensive lineman yesterday, actually, Chip. So we're up to 15 now. And what he was joking around with
16, us. Or 16 if you count Landon Collins.
Oh, well, you're right about that. Yes.
Yeah.
Cannot forget Landon Collins, that guy. He, had an incredible ending of the season. But, yeah, I mean, this is only just the beginning, as we have some new faces joining the roster for our Blue Raiders. And I think it's just the beginning of more to come and just exciting new things.
Well, also, obviously the portal will be opening soon, and there's some players who've made their intentions known. Doesn't mean they're leaving, but they have put it out there that they're gonna dip their toe in the water and see where that goes. That will also kind of give Coach Mason and his staff an idea of who they need to look at and what areas they need to look at when the portal does open on January 2nd.
Yes, and I think, it's just the landscape of football nowadays anyways. Everybody's going through it, not just us here at Murfreesboro. It's every single college program across the country, which, I mean, yes, there are some players that will be leaving us to go to different places. But at the end of the day, I mean, things will land and things will end up being exactly how they're supposed to be. And I think that's the only way that you can really look at it as you're rebuilding this roster getting ready for 2026.
Yep. And everybody's rebuilding a roster. And like you said, it is the nature of college football. And, it little by little, people are getting less crazed and freaked out every time they see somebody's name go in the portal, because it's becoming more of the norm than the exception to the rule.
Oh, it's 100% the normal, which again is such a different scenery or such a different landscape than a lot of people are used to, especially people here at MTSU, who have been around for a long time and have seen this program definitely evolve and change over the course of the past couple seasons. But I think at the end of the day, it's time for a new look. It's time for, some fresh faces and to kind of get some more, what, again, Coach Mason often says, young guys become old guys really quick. And so I think it's just, again, it's time, with our recruiting class that we have so far, what you mentioned, mainly high school guys, a couple JUCO sprinkled in there, but he's just ready for some new talent and to develop those guys to the best that he can for Blue Raider Nation.
All right, a little hot stove football talk with Emmy Fazenbaker of GoBlueRaiders.com. She'll be with us tomorrow. We're going to talk a little basketball, and it's all right here on the Big G, WGNS.
All right. Thank you, Chip. Appreciate that. The MTSU men and women both play soon. We'll talk about that at the end of the show when you can hear them on WGNS. Now, Danny Brewer.
Is he drowning in the pool
or
something?
I don't know if he's drowning. I hear some. You're not drowning, are you, Danny?
Uh-oh.
We lost him.
He's left us.
He's going under.
I think he got distracted. I think somebody's talking to somebody.
Probably so. MTSU, she mentioned a little bit in that interview, the transfer portal opens up here the 1st of January. It's going to be interesting to see. MTSU right now technically have 5 guys that said they're going to enter the portal. The latest one was Elijah Hunter, the cornerback. Schools like MTSU, we've talked all year. I mean, that portal is going to change your makeup every single season.
I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, I don't know how they can survive. I mean, because if you get a player and he turns out he's really good, well, they're enticed to go somewhere else, a bigger school or whatever. And if you don't try to get the best players available, you're not going to be any good either. I mean, it's a really tough catch-22 there.
And nobody wants to hear it. Minor leagues.
No.
I mean, it's the minor leagues.
Yeah.
I mean, the big schools are the major leagues. The schools like MTSU are minor leagues. Speaking of that, let's talk a little baseball for a second. The Braves signed a reliever today. They're trying to shore up their pitching staff. Kyle Schwarber, we talked about, was interested in possibly going to the Reds, but they're too cheap.
Yeah, they won't step out. They won't step out there. It takes a long time to build the way they're building. Now, they had a good year, I thought, last year. They played pretty well, and they've got but they can't afford to work trades either because all their talent is so young. They should put 2 or 3 free agents in there, throw a little money in there, and kind of help solidify that team a little bit because they're very close. I think they're very close.
They're close. A team also in your division with the Braves, the Mets lost Diaz and Alonso.
Yeah, what's going on there? That really shocked me that they lost both of them.
They wanted to get out of New York, just like Sonny Gray talked about.
I guess so.
Well, he caught some flack at the winter meetings from the Yankees GM.
Yeah. Well, that wasn't a good experience for him. He was just being honest, I think, and I don't know that I'd want to play there. I mean, the pressure is so great. And, the Mets, they had that Steve Cohen who was supposed to have billions of dollars. They really haven't. I don't know. I don't know what they're trying to – I really don't know what they're trying to do.
Well, they're spending a lot of money, but they're not getting a whole lot out of it.
Yeah. And they made that trade for Simeon, I think. Was it Simeon and Nemo? And that was kind of weird too. So, I don't know. Well, Nemo wanted to be a Met forever.
It's still a little bit slow. The meetings have happened. There's a lot of starting pitching out there.
Suarez was a big catch for Atlanta. That was a big – that puts the back end of the bullpen super solid. I mean, really, really good. So they got 2 or 3 they're going to bring back. And I would think whoever doesn't make the pitching staff, the starting 5, they'll have 6 or 7 that'll be coming out of that bullpen pitching, for long relief, I think. So.
Well, we mentioned that, you just
got to have good seasons out of Austin Riley and them. I mean,
you still got to score runs.
Yeah, and they just, and Matt Olson is real streaky. I love him. He's real streaky. He had a great year. He was more consistent this year than I've ever seen him. But
they had too many cold spells.
Yes, Michael Harris, and then Acuna's been hurt, and I'm hoping they don't go crazy with him and let him start running all the time again. So because every injury he's had has been on the base pass. So,
well, will he listen to anybody?
I think I let him still hit third, even though most of the fans are going to yell at me for that. But I think if he's not going to be that impact base runner, hit him third.
Hit him third and let you guys push them in from behind. Don't blame me. So we'll see. There's still a lot of time before baseball kicks off, but there's a lot of guys waiting to see when that first domino falls because they're all looking for that new contract. Let's go back and look at. I gave you a bracket of the college football playoffs. We mentioned Alabama earlier. They're playing Oklahoma, so an SEC team's going to get knocked out. Do you think a Madison or a Tulane can pull an upset?
No.
I don't either.
No.
I think we talked about the TLSAA. The scores will be out of control.
There's too much at stake now. I mean, it's not going to. You're going to catch them by surprise. If the team's not ready to play in the college playoffs, then they don't need to. They don't deserve to win. But I don't think they have enough guns to do it. I don't think they've got the personnel to do that. So let's see. Who do they? James Madison plays Oregon.
They're going to get run out of the building.
Yeah, and then
Tulane's got Ole Miss.
Well, now that might, because of all the situation around Kiffin being gone.
It'll be closer, but they've just got too much talent.
I still think, yeah.
I don't think Texas A&M will get by Miami, even though they're the higher seed. And so,
no, I haven't. I've seen Texas A&M once, so I don't know, but yeah.
They've only lost one game, but they've just, to me, they're not that impressive.
Well, Texas put it on them at the end, in the last game, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. So I just don't want to see Ohio State winning again. And like Danny said, he thinks Georgia, but I don't want to see them winning again either.
Well, do you see Indiana winning?
No.
Okay.
No, I see the winner of Alabama-Oklahoma beating them.
Okay, yeah. And Oklahoma's playing well right now.
And they've got a very tough defense. Now, the guy at Indiana says I'm a winner, and he's 13-0 and beat Ohio State, so he probably thinks I'm crazy. But
Georgia will get Ohio State if they go that far, if both of them go that far. And I'm going to predict, because I think it's going to be Georgia and Oklahoma, or something to that effect. I think it'll be at least one SEC team, maybe two.
I'm going to go with Texas Tech and Ohio State.
You like Texas Tech, don't you?
Well,
I do too.
They're kind of an exciting team. They're playing really well too.
Yeah.
So, well, we've got to do it as much as I don't want to, because we're almost at the end of the show.
Oh, about the.
We've got to talk about the other champion.
Okay, I want to say one thing about the other champion here. Okay,
go ahead.
I'd like to know the little secret that he has of predicting all these games, because when I talk to him, we'll talk about it, and he'll say, "Oh well, I went with them too. I went with them too. I went with you too." I said, "Well, then why am I like 8 games out? Why is that, Brian?"
You were 8 games out.
I think he's got a connection.
I watched my computer. He's doing it, like everybody else is doing it. There's no secret. I mean, I'm not cheating because I came in 4th.
Well, he got to run for his money this year. Hockenberry came through.
Bill Hockenberry, 116-27, 1 game out of first place.
And you know what he told me? You're the one that put him in there. I said, "You doggone right I did."
We were trying.
Yeah, I was trying to take him over, take him down.
How many in a row is this for Brian now? 6?
6, I think.
Wow.
It was 6 years ago you won.
It's been over 6.
Golly.
Yeah, I won 3 in a row for a while. Then I just fell off.
You came in and then they put you. You've got the commissioner curse.
That's exactly right. So Brian Barrett, pigskin pick winner. He's going to get another ring. He gets to keep the pig in his office again. Congratulations. We're going to come back and close out this show.
Middle Tennessee Christian School, training for eternity.
People love to see us on the schedule when they have a home game because our fans show up.
MTCS President Matt Tiller.
The way we travel is just phenomenal. Our parents and our community are fully engaged in our school. When we compete, we're trying to do it in a way that honors God. We want to win. We also want to do it in a way that pleases Him.
Providing Christian values and academic excellence in a nurturing environment. That's Middle Tennessee Christian School. Invest in the future of your child. Find out more at mtcscougars.org.
In Rutherford County, you know how much it means to have neighbors that you can count on. I'm State Farm Agent Ron Reeves, here to help life go right when you combine home and auto insurance. Call me at 615-873-1700. Let me save you money and time.
Renters, when you combine State Farm auto and renter's insurance, you save an average of $642. I'm State Farm Agent Emerson Williams, and I'm ready to help you combine auto and renter's insurance and save. Call me at 615-459-2683.
Hey, all you last-minute shoppers out there, this Christmas, give her something that stops your heart and starts it again from J. Mullins Jewelry. Breathtaking diamonds, custom pieces, and even redesign or repair. At J. Mullins Jewelry, we've been making Murfreesboro sparkle since 1938. Now located at 1640 Memorial Boulevard behind McAllister's brand new location. So stop in and see us. J. Mullins Jewelry, let's make this her brightest Christmas ever. New location, 1640 Memorial Boulevard.
Every holiday season, Middle Tennessee comes alive. From small-town parades to tree lightings in our local squares, our communities shine with laughter, music, and the spirit of the season. MTE is proud to help light those moments, supporting the traditions that bring neighbors together. Because around here, it means more than electricity. It's the energy our communities share. Middle Tennessee Electric, bringing good energy.
We're talking with Anne-Marie Brentz at Rick's Barbecue, carrying on the Lanning family tradition.
I'm passionate about it, and I have a lot of my dad in me, so I know that I have the same energy and mindset that he does.
It's the best barbecue you'll eat, the smoked chicken out of this world, and those loaded baked potatoes.
That's the biggest potato you can get. They're right at 2 pounds. People ask us that all the time. They're like, where do y'all get those potatoes from?
A quick meal feeding the whole family or catering, they can do it all at Rick's Barbecue, 212 Warrior Drive.
Primetime Sports, presented by Ideas Tees on 1019 100.5, 1450 wgnssports.com and Big G TV.
All right, let's close out this show looking ahead on WGNS high school basketball. Tomorrow night, Middle Tennessee Christian versus PCA. That's going to be
the girls' game's going to be awesome, and the Cougars are better too, and the PCA is really tough. So.
Absolutely. So high school basketball is in full swing. You've got undefeated Eagleville boys. Other teams still trying to figure some things out around the region. But that game tomorrow night is going to be a good one. Saturday, Coach's Corner. Boys this week, I can't remember the flip-flop.
No, it's girls.
It's girls.
Girls, and then boys on the 20th, and then we'll be out for Christmas.
Okay, so girls coaches on Saturday. Sunday, Middle Tennessee women at South Indiana. Monday, back to prep basketball, Rockville versus Mount Juliet. Tuesday, the Middle Tennessee women play Auburn at home, in case you want to go and check out the Lady Raiders against the SEC team. Wednesday, the men play Kennesaw State. Next Thursday will be our last show of the season, and y'all have got basketball, so y'all cutting me short on the last show. Oakland versus Beach.
Well, all you're going to do is just kind of recap the
end
year.
of the year review.
Yeah, and we'll bring in that big salary hike you're going to get. The big that
but you're
payment.
going to be. I thought about making the John Dinkins Memorial Sausage Squares, but you won't be here.
I know. I know. I mentioned that the other day. You said, "What's the best food you've ever had?"
At the Riverdale game. Y'all will call a Riverdale game.
Yeah.
I'll take care of you then.
I said the best food I ever had was his sausage squares. Gosh, they're so good.
If you want to go to a parade, the Eagleville Christmas Parade is Saturday at 5:00. The Eagleville Eagle State volleyball champions are the Grand Marshals, and then you said Big G TV's covering
2:00. 2:00 for the parade on Sunday. This Sunday,
it's going to be a tad bit nippy this weekend. Y'all stay warm. We'll see you next Thursday.